Hello everyone. Let's do some describe image practice for the PTE exam. So here we got a line chart. Physics and chemistry exam scores over a semester in different exam 1 2 3 5 score 95. Green is chemistry and this is physics. The line chart in front of me represents physics and chemistry exam scores over a semester for different exam from exam 1 to exam 5. From the image I can see that for chemistry the highest score was in exam 2 which was nearly 100 and the lowest score for chemistry was in exam 4 which is nearly 61. The highest score for physics was in exam 4 whereas the lowest score for physics in exam 5 which is 63. Overall the image gives us a lot of information about the exam scores over a semester. Okay, that's done. Let's go to the next one. Again, a line chart, traffic flow throughout the day from 6 a.m. morning 6 a.m. to midnight 3 a.m. The highest traffic is in 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. The lowest traffic is 12 p.m. The line chart in front of me represents traffic flow throughout the day from 6 a.m. in the morning to 3 a.m. in the night. From the image I can see that the highest traffic is during the time 6 a.m. as well as 9 p.m. which is 900 number of vehicles to 850 number of vehicles respectively. The lowest traffic rates is in 12 p.m. which is nearly 100 number of vehicles. Overall the image gives us a lot of information. I had lost fluency in some points, but okay, I will leave it that. Keep practicing. Okay, this is a bar chart. Average medical expense by age group 0 to 18, 6 to 60, 60 plus. Average expense in dollar. Expense by age group. This is a bar chart. Highest, lowest. The bar chart in front of me represents average medical expenses by age group. I screwed up. I'm gonna redo it once again. In exam we don't get a chance, but during practice we do. The bar chart in front of me represents average medical expenses by age group like 0 to 18, 19 to 30 and 60 plus. From the image I can see that 46 to 60 age group is having the highest expenditure which is nearly $3,000, whereas the lowest expenditure is for age group 19 to 30 which is nearly $650. Overall the image gives me a lot of information. Still need a lot of practice. Okay, a light chart. Electricity usage, monthly electricity usage over an year from month January to December. Highest electricity usage is in May, 340 kilowatts. Second highest. The line chart in front of me represents monthly electricity usage over an year from month January to December. From the image I can see that the highest electricity usage is in month May which is 340 kilowatts. The second highest is in month January as well as in August which is nearly 330 kilowatts. The lowest electricity usage is in March which is lower than 220 kilowatts. Overall the image gives us a lot of information about the monthly electricity usage. Okay, moving to the next one. Daily temperature, daily high and low temperature over a week from Monday to Sunday. High temperature, low temperature. Okay. Highest high temperature was Saturday which is 26. The line chart in front of me represents daily high and low temperature over a week from Monday to Sunday. From the image, I can see that the highest high temperature was 26 degrees Celsius, which was on Saturday. The same day, the lowest temperature was nearly 18 degrees Celsius. The lowest highest temperature was recorded in Wednesday, which is 22 degrees Celsius, whereas the lowest was on the same day, which is Wednesday, around 13 degrees Celsius. Overall, the image gives us a lot of information. I didn't do it good, I know, but keep practicing. This is again a bar chart. Supermarket sales distribution, beverage, bakery, meat, dairy, fruits and vegetables, sales percentage. Product category. Highest is for fruits and vegetables, 25%. Lowest is for meat, 15%. The bar chart in front of me represents supermarket sales distribution among different categories like beverage, bakery, meat, dairy, fruits and vegetables. From the image I can see that fruits and vegetables are having the highest sales percentage, which is 25%. Dairy, bakery and beverages are having an equal percentage, which is 20%. The lowest sales percentage is for meat, which is 15%. Overall, the image gives me a lot of information. Okay, that's 30-second one. Okay, this one is on tax classification of annual income. Salary, investment, property, business and others, tax classification. Okay, highest tax is from salary. The chart in front of me represents tax classification of annual income among different categories like salary, investment, property and business. From the image I can see that salary is having the highest tax classification, which is 50%, whereas investment takes the second place with 20%. The lowest tax classification is for business, which is 10%. Overall, the image gives me a good idea about tax classification of annual income. This is a pie chart. Composition of urban waste by source. Hospital, household is the highest, commercial is the second highest, 40%, 24%. Hospital and constructions are contributing the lowest. The pie chart in front of me represents composition of urban waste by different sources like construction, hospital, household and commercial. From the image I can see that household is having the highest contribution of urban waste, which is 40%. 25% of the commercial waste is from commercial. The lowest composition of the waste, I screwed up. I am going for one more round. The pie chart represents composition of urban waste by different sources like hospital, construction, commercial and household. From the image I can see that household is contributing the highest wastage, which is 40%. 25% contribution is by commercial, whereas hospital and constructions are doing the lowest contribution, which is 10%. Overall, the image gives me a good idea about how the urban waste is contributed by different sources. Average precipitation. Average annual precipitation in Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, Oceania. What happened? Okay. Precipitation in millimeter. 1000 and 6000. The bar chart in front of me represents average precipitation among different countries like Africa, Asia, Europe, North America and South America. From the image I can see that South America is having the highest average precipitation, which is 1600 millimeter, whereas Oceania is having the second highest with 1030 millimeter. The lowest precipitation is in Africa with a 500 millimeter. Overall, the image gives me a lot of idea about average annual precipitation among different countries. Annual green energy production 2005 to 2016. Green energy production trillions of kilowatts, trillions of kilowatts, 2 trillions of kilowatts. Highest. The line chart in front of me represent annual green energy production growth from year 2005 to 2015. From the image I can see that in 2005 the green energy production was just 1.5 trillions of kilowatts, whereas it is gradually increasing through the years, reaching 3 trillions of kilowatts in 2009. It is 5 trillions of kilowatts in 2015. Overall, the image gives me a lot of information. Okay, this is educational resources distribution. Sports facilities, teaching quality, art investment technology. What is this? The chart in front of me represents educational resources contribution distribution among sport facilities, teaching quality, art investment, technology equipment, and library resources. From the image, I can see that art investment is around 100%, whereas library resources takes 50%. The lowest contribution is for teaching quality, which is 25%. Overall, the image gives me a lot of information. I have no idea. I didn't clearly understand. Maybe this is the graph showing the purple part should be the one. I haven't seen a graph like this before. Okay, here we have a map of African continent. Sudan, Algeria, Libya. Looks like Algeria is the largest country. Sudan is the image in front of me represents the map of African continent. From the image, I can see that Algeria and Libya are the two big countries in South Africa, whereas Angola, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Mali, Niger are the small parts. Also, I can see Chad as the smallest country. Egypt is also part of South Africa. Overall, the image gives me a lot of information. Maybe I will try to redo this once again. This is a map of African continent. This is South Africa, so this is East Africa, North Africa, this is East, this is East, and this is South. The image in front of me represents a map of African continent. From the image, I can see different countries like Algeria, Libya, and Egypt in the north part of Africa, whereas in the east part of Africa, I can see Ethiopia, Tasmania, even an island called Madagascar. I can also see Mali and Niger in the north part. The middle part contains Niger and Chad. Overall, the image gives me a lot of information about different countries in African continent. Still, okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is a doctor's room. There's a nurse taking notes. There's one patient. Doctor knew one patient. He's doing ear examination using an equipment. The image in front of me shows a doctor room with a patient, a doctor, and a nurse. From the image, I can see that the doctor is examining the patient for ear infection. Also, I can see that the nurse is taking notes about the examination and the results. Also, I can see that what I can see. Maybe I will redo. The doctor is having a stethoscope as well. As a precaution, she is wearing gloves. Okay, what else? The image in front of me shows a doctor room with a patient and doctor and a nurse. From the image, I can see that the doctor is doing an examination of patient ear. There could be an ear infection. I can see that the doctor is having a stethoscope as well as some examination equipments. The nurse standing nearby is wearing a gloves and she is taking note about the examination results. Overall, the image gives me a lot of information about a doctor room. Still didn't do well. Maybe we can take a look at the answer section. The picture gives information about medical treatment. On the left, there is a white-haired male doctor who wears white clothes and is observing a patient's ear. In the middle of the picture, the patient is a male in the black shirt. On the right side, a young nurse standing by the patient wearing a pair of blue gloves and taking notes. Behind them is a large French window which provides good lighting in the room. Okay, to sum up, the graph tells about medical treatment. This is not a graph, this is an image. Okay, this looks like interior design, which they have placed sofa and a tea table, a lot of indoor plants. The image in front of me represents internal decor for a living room. From the image I can see that there are many wall designs given and they have used lot of indoor plants, big and small pots. In the front they have placed a sofa with two pillows with a tea table. Near to the sofa they have placed TV along with the TV stand. Also I can see a drawer for library books and other pots. Overall this looks like a wonderful living room. Back to the graph. Cybersecurity from 2018 to 2023. Annual cybersecurity threat incidents. Number of incidents. Okay. Annual cybersecurity incidents. It was the highest during 2018 with 1,200. The line chart in front of me represents annual cybersecurity threat incidents from year 2018 to 2023. From the image, I can see that 2018 was having the highest annual cybersecurity threat incidents, which is nearly 1,200. 2022 is having the highest second, which is nearly 1,200 again. The lowest rates were in 2019, which is 600 number of incidents. Overall, the image gives us a lot of information. I had a lot of pauses, lot of breaks. I should have marked the lowest in advance, like this is like 200 number of incidents maybe in 2019. Okay. What is this? Daily time distribution for different activities. Work 33, sleep 33, exercise 4.2, that's the minimal, commuting, eating, leisure. Second highest is for leisure. The bar chart in front of me represents the daily time distribution for different activities like exercise, work, sleep, commuting, eating, and leisure. From the image, I can see that sleep and work are taking the highest time, which is 33.3% percentage respectively. The second highest distribution of time is for leisure, which is 16.7%. The lowest time taking is for commuting and exercise, which is 4.2%. Overall, the image gives me a good idea about the daily time distribution. Nutritional content comparison of health foods: protein, fiber, calcium. Nutritional content. Okay. Nutritional content: quinoa, almonds, kale, blueberries, avocado. Quinoa, highest calcium. The bar chart in front of me represents nutritional content among different health products like quinoa, almonds, kales, and avocado. From the image, I can see that quinoa is having the highest calcium content, which is more than 250 nutritional content. It is also having the highest protein content, which is nearly 25 nutrition content. The second highest values are for blueberries, which is above 200. Avocado is also having good rates of protein, calcium, and fiber. Almonds are the lowest with the content. I took more than 40. I should have taken a look, kept an eye on the timer. Okay, let's go. This is on time arrival. American I don't know, United, Southwest, JetBlue, Alaska. On time arrival rates of airlines. So the Delta. On time arrival rates. Highest is for JetBlue. Second one. The bar chart in front of me represents on-time arrival rates of different airlines like American, Delta, Southwest, JetBlue, and Alaska. From the image, I can see that JetBlue is having the highest on-time arrival rate, which is 89.44%. The second highest is for American, which is 88.81%. The lowest on-time arrival rates is for United, which is 71.51%. Overall, the image gives me a lot of information about on-time arrival rates of different airlines. Moving to the next. Okay, what is this? BBC and CNN. Monthly news reports by CNN and BBC. BBC news reports, CNN news reports. Okay, red one is CNN. What is this thing? Quantity. The bar chart in front of me represents monthly news reports by CNN and BCC throughout the year from January to December. From the image, I can see that for CNN news report, May and December, they are having the highest value, which is nearly 175. Whereas the lowest values for CNN report is during November, which is nearly 100. The BBC news reports having the highest value during October, whereas the lowest value is during September. Overall, the image gives me good idea about different news channels. Okay, moving to the next. This is ebook. Ebook versus physical book sales per quarter. The highest sale for physical books is in quarter 4. The line chart in front of me represents the ebook versus physical book sale per quarter. From the image, I can see that the physical book sales were the lowest during Q2, which is 100,000, whereas in Q4 it is highest with 450,000. The ebook sales were the highest during quarter 4, which is 3,700, whereas during Q3 they had the lowest, which is 200,000. Overall, the image gives me a lot of information. I had some mistakes. Global language distribution by number of speakers. Highest is Mandarin, second highest is English, then Hindi, 30%. Okay. The pie chart in front of me represents global language distribution by number of speakers among different languages like Mandarin, English, Hindi, and French. Among the listed languages, Mandarin is the highest with 19.0, whereas the second highest is for English, which is 17.0%. The lowest contribution is for Arabic, which is 6.0. The other languages altogether take 30 percentage. Overall, the image gives me a lot of information about the different languages. Sports activity. They're showing different sports activity when it's running, flying ring, hurdling, gymnastic, weightlifting, boxing. The image represents different kinds of sports activity. In the first place, they are talking about running with an image of a machine that is running. In the second place, they have mentioned about flying ring. They also mentioned hurdling and gymnastic. In the third place, they have mentioned weightlifting and boxing. Overall, this gives us a lot of information about the different kinds of sports activities that we can choose from. That was hard. Let's see what's the answer given in the website. The picture gives information about sport activities. Firstly, the upper left corner, it is a running, and in the upper right corner it is a flying ring. Then in the middle we can see hurdling with a person crossing the hurdle. Also we can also see gymnastic, which shows a person in standing on a single foot to demonstrate the balance capability. In the lower left, it is a weightlifting with a person crouching and preparing to lift the barbells. Boxing in the lower right corner with a person wielding the fist. To sum up, the graph tells about sports activities. Okay. Gymnastic with a man stretching his arms. Weightlifting with a person ready to lift weights. Boxing is a person with boxing gloves. Okay, here we have a picture of park. There is a pool in the middle with ducks swimming in it. There is one lady who is walking with her dog. Few are like talking in the phone and walking. There's one lady sitting in the bench reading the book with a cup of coffee. Few people are doing. The image in front of me shows a park with different activities. From the image, I can see that there are few people doing exercise in the back side of the park. There are few people riding cycles as well as scooter. There is a swimming pool in the middle of the park with ducks swimming on it. There are some people who are like sitting and relaxing in the picnic mat or in the bench reading the books and playing with the kids. Overall, the image gives us an information about how a park looks like. That was hard. That was hard. Not hard, but anatomy. Okay. Nose, mouth, lungs, diaphragm, anatomy of respiratory system. In the upper part, there is nose and mouth that takes in air. Then there is a the image in front of me represents the anatomy of a human with respiratory system. I can see nose in the upper part, nose and mouth that helps in the first part. Then there is a trachea that travels the air through. Then I can see lungs in both sides, right and left side, with many nerves inside that. I can also see a diaphragm that helps in breathing. Overall, the image gives me a good idea about the respiratory system. What is this? Nose, mouth, trachea. So nose and mouth, that helps to take the air in. I can see nose and mouth in the first part of the system. I can see nose and mouth in the first part of the system. Maybe we should take a look in the answer too. This picture gives information about human anatomy. Firstly, the cross section of the nose is shown in the head. Below the nose, that of the mouth is shown too. Then that of the trachea is shown between the mouth and lungs. From the picture we can see that two lungs are pink with many thin blood vessels within them. Okay, below the lungs there is a diaphragm which separates the chest and the belly. The upper halves of the two arms are also shown in the picture. To sum of the graph tells about human anatomy. Okay, the first part of the system is nose and mouth. In middle of mouth and lungs we can see trachea as a tube. Then we can see lungs in pink color located in both sides of the body with a lot of blood vessels in that. I can also see diaphragm. Okay, also at the end we can see diaphragm just below the lungs. Diaphragm is located just below the lungs. Trachea is located in between the lungs and mouth. The beginning part of the anatomy, I can see nose and mouth. In the beginning I can see nose and mouth. Then in between lungs and followed by I can see trachea in between the lungs and mouth. Lungs is located in both lungs. They are pink in color with lungs. There are two lungs located in both sides of the body with body. They are pink in color and they have got a lot of blood vessels. We can also see diaphragm which is located in the bottom part of the lungs.